down.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the garage. My name's John, and this is a channel where we talk about some home gym stuff, a lot of fitness stuff. So if you're into any of that, go ahead and click that subscribe button before you forget. I'm sure you saw the title of the video. Today we're going to be talking about my new shoes. I bought a pair of Reebok Nano 10s or Nano X's, and I'm going to test them out throughout this week and see if they're the best Nano ever. I'm really excited to get into it because the Nano is probably my favorite training shoe ever. Now the reason for this is they're a classic training shoe, especially for CrossFit. They're flat enough to squat in, but they're cushy enough to still run in, and at no point do you feel like you're wearing weights or anything heavy on your feet, but at the same time you feel like you've got enough support to do pretty much anything thrown at you. So let's get to my favorite part, the unboxing part. Yeah. I went with these bright red ones. I just think that they look dope. They have a gum bottom along with the black meta split sole, right? The same thing they've been doing for the last few here, and they're relatively light, but the thing I'm most interested in is how different the heel cap is in comparison to the 9, because this all looks the same, but this little guy, this goes up so much higher than the old one, and the tongue is new, and just all in all, this looks like a really good reinvention of the Nano. The last few have kind of looked the same, and we should just forget about the 7s altogether because they were... Let's go ahead and put them on. Let's see what they feel like. Don't need that. Oh yeah. Ooh, that fits nice. Now that I got them on, all I gotta do is work out. I'm gonna train in these shoes exclusively all week, and at the end of the week, I'll give you my verdict on whether or not these shoes are the best Nanos ever. All right, let's go have some fun. So as you can tell, I did a bunch of different kind of workouts with this shoe this week, and while it was only 1 week with a brand new shoe, I can tell you that the Nano X is different than all of the past versions of itself. And I'm going to talk about a couple different reasons why I think this might be the best Nano they've ever released. So let's go over a couple different categories and talk about where the shoe excelled and where maybe I thought it lacked in this week of training. The 4 categories are the build, the comfort, the fitness, and would I keep using these shoes? Like I said at the beginning, I love the way these shoes look. The build, the new design, it looks like the best version of these shoes they've ever made. And while the visuals of it look great, the profile of the shoe is awesome, I think that they've changed a couple of things about the functionality of it to make it an even better training shoe than the Nano 9. The 3 main things that stood out to me were the heel, the tongue, and the toe box. So the heel, right here, this guy, I believe that they've changed the angle of this here so that when you run, It's not quite as dramatic as when you would run in the older versions where it felt like your foot just kind of on the ground. They've given you that kind of like running shoe curve in the back so you can more roll into your stride. And I really noticed that on the first time I went on a run with these compared to, say, the 6s or the 7s, definitely the 7s, because my foot didn't just slap down on the ground. I don't think this takes away anything when you are squatting or deadlifting something heavy with these shoes. Like I said, I did both of those things this week, and I didn't feel at all like I was rocking onto my toes or rocking backwards. I felt very sturdy. So the build of the heel, while changed just a little bit, has improved the running, in my opinion. The second thing that I said was the tongue. The tongue has changed. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. It's huge. It's thick. It's padded. It's way different than the past versions. It used to just be like a piece of fabric between you and the laces so the laces didn't rub on your bare foot. This thing feels super squishy and it's very soft, and I was concerned that it was going to inhibit your ability for your ankle to move forward as you squat. But lo and behold, they thought of that too, and I didn't at any point while I was working out think, man, I wish this tongue was the old way because this is really annoying. I didn't even notice it was there. The last thing about the build was the toe box. This guy right here, notoriously Nanos have had a wider toe box for squatting and for your foot to kind of splay out when you're pressing into the floor, and a lot of people didn't like that, which is what pushed them more towards the Nike Metcons, which are much more snug in the toe box. This one definitely feels more narrow than past versions, but it's not so narrow that you're like pinching your toes or anything. And for me, I'm used to a much wider toe box, not only from the Nanos, but from coming from a running background. I like the wider toe box to feel my foot really press into the floor, but I think they found a happy medium here between what I like and what the people who like more narrow toe boxes like, because I felt very snug in here, and at no point did I feel like it was rubbing on the sides of my foot, and I didn't get any blisters. So good stuff on the build. Let's move on to the comfort. Not only did I wear these shoes in my hour-long training every day, I wore them just to walk around in, coach in. I even asked the age-old question, does it one wheel? And yes, it does. They were super comfortable on the one wheel, standing for 8 hours a day, and for working out. These are the all-around shoe for just whatever. Now, I wouldn't recommend getting bright red if you're gonna wear them out in a social setting because you get a lot of comments about how red your shoes are. Now, as a disclaimer, I have been wearing Nanos for a couple of years as my work shoes as well as my workout shoes, so my comfort level may be different than yours, but one thing that they did change that I definitely noticed in the comfort factor was all of the padding around your ankle here is much thicker, and while it does feel much better, it is a little bit warmer on that part of your foot, but I would have to say that that's a very small thing because the comfort upgrade is very noticeable. Getting into the fitness part, are they worth it for fitness? Are they worth it for working out? Are they worth it for CrossFit or cross training or whatever it is that you do? Short answer, yes. I did everything from running long distance to sprinting to jumping on a box to double unders to heavy hang cleans to heavy deadlifts to squats. I mean, I really tried to put these shoes to the test. The only thing that I notice that's a little bit of a drawback is they feel just a little bit heavier than the 8s or the 9s do. Maybe I'm just sensitive to that kind of thing. It felt a little bit heavier. Not that it made me work out any slower, just thought, hey man, your shoes feel kind of heavy, you know? So basically when it comes to the fitness portion of these shoes, they're not gonna be the magic pill that takes you from average workout person to the fittest on earth, but they're definitely not going to stop you from reaching whatever goals that you have set out. And finally, am I going to keep using them? Are they worth it? Should you get a pair? Yeah, absolutely. If you are up for a new pair and you can find a good deal on these guys, I definitely recommend the Nano X. It is super comfy. It is very stylish looking in comparison to some of the past shoes. These are probably going to be the main workhorse as they are the latest and greatest, and I didn't have a single drawback with them in my 1 week of training. Now, maybe with time I'll update this review and let you know what kind of shortcomings I find, because no product is perfect, but this one feels pretty close. Guys, if you like this video, please do me a favor, click that thumbs up button down there, and if you hated this video, click that thumbs button down there twice just to make sure that I get it, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks again. Later.